Welcome back to another video. This is Ebyte, and today I'm going to be running through some tips and tricks which will hopefully help you to improve your aim in Rainbow Six Siege. Before I continue, 61.9% of you watching this video right now are not subscribed to the channel, so if you enjoy Rainbow Six Siege content, please consider subscribing. You can always unsubscribe later should you wish. First off, I'd recommend focusing on and mastering your sensitivity. Sensitivity is personal preference, and using another player's sense won't automatically make you become a better player. However, if you're looking for a good starting sensitivity, I would recommend 30, 60, 55, 30 or 40, 80, 55, 40. I've also included the converted ADS sensitivities for those interested. This can later be adjusted to your liking or playstyle. I personally find that high vertical isn't necessary, as the majority of your gunfights are between the prone and standing height range. Your sensitivity should allow you to flick if necessary, but shouldn't be so quick that your aim becomes unstable during regular gunfights. I'd also suggest experimenting with your ADS sensitivity using the advanced tab in your settings. This allows you to adjust various magnifications and scopes individually. Crosshair placement is one of the most important factors when it comes to aiming in Rainbow Six Siege. Since Siege uses the one-shot headshot mechanic, you should ideally be aiming for the head in every gunfight. Crosshair placement is also just as important out with gunfights. When you're not in a gunfight, you should be aiming or pre-aiming at standing head height in case an enemy player appears on your screen. A quick and easy way to do this is to divide a door frame into thirds, aiming 1/3 down for standing and roughly 2/3 down for crouch height. I personally prefer to aim at standing height, but with many players now often crouch walking or peeking, aiming crouch height and adjusting your aim if necessary can also be an option. This will give you a much better chance of winning gunfights than if you were to be un-ADS'd or aiming randomly into space, a wall or floor. A good way to practice your crosshair placement is to set your gun to single fire in a classic terrorist hunt and go for one taps to improve your initial or first shot accuracy. Tip number 3 is to aim with your right stick. It's quite common at lower ranks to see players aiming with their left stick. This is often called or referred to as strafing. However, if you're looking to improve your aim, I'd recommend learning to use your right stick, as this will dramatically help when it comes to tracking and controlling recoil. By using your right stick, you'll have more control over your aim, allowing you to be more consistent and precise. Tip number 4, mastering recoil control. Each weapon in Rainbow Six Siege has a unique recoil pattern. Knowing this pattern and learning how to control it will greatly improve your aim and your chances of winning gunfights. You can understand a weapon's recoil pattern by firing a full magazine without controlling the recoil at a wall or a flat surface. To control this recoil, you want to follow the motion or path from the last bullet to the first, often resulting in you pulling down either to the left or right. Following on from this is tip number 5, using the correct or suitable attachments on your weapon. Weapon attachments can have various effects on a gun's usability, with certain attachments working better or easier to control than others. I normally share my attachments every season, however attachments can be seen as personal preference and come down to your playstyle. For instance, if you're passive and looking to control recoil a little bit easier, I'd suggest running vertical grip. However, if you're an aggressive, fast-paced player, I'd recommend angled. Tip number 6 is to stop spam leaning and crouching. I often see players losing gunfights that they would normally win because they chose to spam lean or crouch during their gunfight. Crouching or leaning mid-gunfight can make it more difficult for the enemy player to hit their shots, as it's often unpredictable and requires them to continually adjust their aim, but it shouldn't come at the expense of yours. Optionally, once you're comfortable with your aim, that's when I would suggest implementing crouching and or leaning. Tip number 7 is aim training and practice. Being consistent on controller can be incredibly difficult, especially if you keep changing your sensitivity, so warming up regularly can greatly help. Compared to other games, there's no aim assist in Rainbow Six Siege, meaning that your aim fully relies on your mechanical skill. I'd recommend using T-Hunt to warm up, but try not to play on the same map each time, as you'll most likely memorize the terrorist positions. If you're interested, I've covered many of these topics in more detail in other videos on my channel. Hopefully guys enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, please leave a like, it would be greatly appreciated. If you happen to have any further questions, please leave them down in the comment section below and I'll try my best to respond to each one. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, please make sure to do so to keep up to date with all of my latest videos, and I shall see you in my next video.
Stable, oh yeah, no label.